Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a brand new video for you and I'm doing a story time today. This one's a pretty juicy one. Looking back, I wish I had acted differently in the situation, but what's done is done. You learn your lessons and you move on. So today's story time is about a girl that I featured in another story time, which was my eye contact to the dead one, which is linked down below if you want to check it out. And her name is Samantha. She was my best friend of years and we were literally like soulmate sisters. Like we were literally family. I would like walk up in her house like nothing, like I would not even care. I'd babysit her brother. She was always in my house. Like we lived at each other's houses in high school. Like we were best friends. Okay. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more story times and whatever the fuck else I want to put on my channel. Let's get right into the video, okay? Okay, so like I said, I had a best friend and her name was Samantha. We thought we were gonna be lifelong friends, maid of honor, like the whole works. Like we really truly believed it. I think we would have, but we just went through way too much and it didn't work. But we're still cool. So Samantha, you know who you are. If you're watching this, no hard feelings. Okay, so Samantha and I were very different people. Very different people. We're super alike, but we were just different. In high school, we were like each other's lifeline, so we were always together, but we did have other mutual friends. So we had a friend named, let's call her Marissa. Okay, so Marissa was like one of our really close friends, and I'm still friends with Marissa to this day, but at the time it was like me, Marissa, and Samantha were really close, but then there was always like me and Samantha were like off to the side because we were just best friends. There was a point in time where Marissa was living with Samantha because Marissa always had family problems, so she was living with her for about like 3 weeks or something like that, so they were always together and they got closer, but it was still like me and Samantha ride or die. Samantha and I were always in different levels of schooling, so like, you know, there's like academic and applied and all those things, so we were never really in the same classes. We only had like one class together a year, so we had like different friends sometimes and met different people. But there was this one guy. He was the kind of person that we would like never go for, that we wouldn't really like think to talk to, but when we talked to him, like he was just so nice. Like he was like one of those like popular guy. Everybody knew him. Everybody like, I don't want to give away too much because I can't have people that I know knowing who I'm talking about, but like everyone grabbed off him. Everyone just knew this guy. Oh my god, I hope he doesn't see this. So this guy was so fucking nice. Like he's the kind of guy that you would never expect to be nice to like certain people, because like, you know, in high school it's just fucking stupid. There's people that are like popular and then there's like the losers and then there's this and there's that, and then, like he was one of those guys who like was very popular and he would talk to and be nice to all like the like losers or special needs people or like whoever was around him. Like he was just nice. Like he didn't even try to be everyone's friend, but he was just a nice person and he's just nice. So I was in his class and Samantha was in his class and we both got to talking to him on different levels. I didn't talk to him too much, but I thought he was like very sweet and he was a really good looking guy, so I thought he was like really cute. And when I talked to him, I'd get like nervous, so I'd get shy because I'm a really shy person. She had a smaller class with him, so she got to talk to him a little bit more, right? But like they were just like friends, so whenever we passed by him, he'd always say like hi to both of us, give hugs and whatnot, and then like move on. So eventually, because I was a stupid fucking teenager, I started to like him, even though I didn't really know him, but I liked him, okay? Like, I hope that if he sees this, he doesn't know that I'm talking about him, because he would never ever think that I liked him, but I liked the guy, okay? And I used to want him so bad because he was so cute and he was just like sweet and like I fucking liked him, okay? So I told Samantha about this crush and she was like, oh, you guys would be cute, blah blah blah, and I was like, I know we would be. Just like thought he was like so attractive, and I just wanted him, so I started like flirting with him and I started talking to him a little bit more. We never really got close, but we were talking sometimes like in class and stuff like that, and like I had him on BBM because BBM was popping back then, and yeah, I just liked him. So Samantha knew how much I liked this guy. Like she knew, because I don't know why. I think I was just bored and I wanted to like someone, and you know, like when you're in high school you can like anybody because that's just how it is. So I really liked him. Like I remember just like if I saw him talking to like pretty girls, I'd be like, ugh, like that's so annoying. So yeah, one day she comes to me and she tells me, she's like, oh my god, I think I like him too. So in my head I was like, okay, like, okay, what's your point? But I couldn't say that because like it's not like I was dating him, so I couldn't be mad that, you know, she liked him as long as she's not like acting on it. So she told me, she's like, yeah, she liked him, and so then we both just kind of like, I got over that and I was just like, okay, like cool, like I guess we can both like obsess over him now. So like we'd tell each other like when we talked to him, and like it was just kind of like, oh, like, yeah, he's so cute, he did this today, oh, he was doing this, oh, he was doing that, and like we just both kind of like were into him. And every time she'd tell me like about something that he said to her or she said to him, I'd like get really fucking jealous, and I'd be like, oh, no way, oh, that's so cute, but inside I was so jealous, but like I just had to be like a good friend, so I was just like, you know, whatever. So we just tell each other stuff, and I started realizing that they were like better friends than I was with him, because she's more of an outgoing person, so that made me like heated inside, like heated. So they get close, and she doesn't ever have a phone. She never had a phone in high school, so she didn't really have any way of like texting him or anything like that. So I was just like, okay, whatever, when she goes home, she goes home. Like, she only sees him at school, whatever. We said to each other, we're like, okay, now that we've established that we both like him, we have to promise each other we're not gonna make a move on him, we're not gonna do anything. We can talk about him, we can like him, we can flirt with him, but like nothing past that. Like, we can't hang out with him, we can't be texting him, we can't be like, you know, because we both liked him. I mean, even though technically, like, I called dibs when I was, you know, in high school, that shit's important. I called dibs, but I was just being like a good friend, and I was like, yeah, no, like neither of us will do anything about it. Neither of us can act on it too much. Like, we'll just leave it. Like, whatever happens, happens, but even if he wants one of us, we just don't do it, because friendship is more important than a man, blah, 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 all that bullshit. Some time goes by, and like I said, Marissa's living with Samantha. So Marissa had BBM, and she had him on BBM. So I knew that they were friends too, but they weren't really close, but yeah, that's just like a thing to note, okay? So let's fast forward 2 fucking years. Okay, let's fast forward 2 years. Fast forward 2 years, Marissa and I are hanging out a lot because Samantha and I don't know, we were still really close, we were still best friends, but it was hard for us to see each other because I think it was summertime, and when we're not in school together, it's hard for us to always get a ride to each other's house. So because of that, I'm seeing Marissa more because Marissa's parents always drove her everywhere. So I'm hanging out with Marissa, like I said, 2 years later, and we're just talking about some like funny stories that we have, right? Like, we're just talking shit about like whatever, right? And I remember, okay, we never named the guy, but the guy's name is Doug, okay? Marissa and I are talking about like something random. We're laughing, and she's like, yeah, like I remember that one time that Samantha fucked Doug and blah, 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 and like she was telling me about how blah, blah, blah. And then like I was just sitting, I was laughing, I was like, wait, what? And then she's like, oh, and her jaw like dropped. Oh, another Doug. Like, it was like those movies. Like, she was like, oh, no, another Doug. Like, Doug, you don't know Doug. Doug goes to another school. Doug, what Doug? Doug who? Did I say Doug? I didn't say Doug. He was so obvious about it. And I was like, which Doug? Why don't you show me his Facebook if you know this Doug so well? Like, who's Doug? Like, just, I want to know who Doug is. Another Doug, I met him through a friend, and she just stopped talking. She's like, honestly, babe, you know what? At this point, you and I are closer. It was her mistake. She can't get mad at me for outing her business when she shouldn't have done it. But Doug, as in Doug. Because she knew. And I was just like, I was just in shock. I literally sat there like, Doug, like, everyone grabs off Doug, like, Doug? And she started apologizing because she's like, I couldn't tell you because I was living with her at the time and it was just really hard, and like her and I were closer than you and I, and like honestly it wasn't my business to tell, but yeah, Doug. And then I was just sitting there in silence. So I just sat there literally fuming. I was just like, first I felt like mad, and then I felt disappointed, and then I felt like, oh, like angry, like livid. So I sat there and I'm like, okay, so I'm not mad at you for not telling me because it wasn't your business to tell, but you're about to tell me what happened, like what the fuck went down. So she goes on to tell me the story. I'll tell you how it went. So basically, Marissa, Samantha, and Samantha's cousin were all at Samantha's house, and they were just hanging out, eating ramen noodles and just chilling and like whatever. So they got bored, so they wanted to grab. Samantha doesn't have a phone, so she gets Marissa to message Doug on BBM and ask him like if he wants to like reach and like sesh. They're texting him, and apparently Samantha's like, yeah, tell him I want him to come, tell him I want him to come over, blah, 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 blah. And at this point they'd never hung out before, so I don't even know how this happened, but yeah, they were BBMing, and Samantha was like trying to like be flirty and like get him to come over, and so then he agrees. Okay, just keep in mind guys, I was not there, so I just know what I've heard, like, yeah, so he agrees. He comes over. I don't know how it happened because I didn't want to know, but basically Samantha was giving him a lot of like I'm DTF vibes, and I guess they ended up downstairs in the basement, I think, or upstairs in her room. I don't know, one or the other. All I know is that Marissa and the cousin were on a different floor, and Samantha and Doug were doing the nasty somewhere else in the house. So she told Marissa not to tell me. She said, promise you don't tell Ashley. Like, promise me you cannot tell Ashley. Because she knew what she was doing was wrong. And yeah, she told her not to tell me. And that all went down. And I don't know if they did it again since. I asked her, she said no, but I didn't really believe her because, like, how am I supposed to believe you at that point, right? I don't know to this day. But the next day I saw her at school and I didn't think anything of it, obviously. Like, I don't remember what it was like the next day because I have no idea when it was because I found out 2 years later. All I know was that I was flirting with him like a fucking idiot the next day because I didn't know my best friend had sex with him, but he probably thought that I knew because he didn't know that I liked him. So he's probably like, man, this girl just had sex with me and now her best friend's flirting with, like, I had no fucking idea. I had no idea, guys. Like, I would have never in a million years thought that literally, we call each other sister from another mister, like, that my fucking sister best friend would go and do that behind my back. I had no idea. I understand I wasn't dating him, but when you're in high school, everything feels so serious. Like, when you like someone, it's really intense. Like, your feelings are in it because you have all these freaking hormones and you have, oh my god, thinking about it just getting me heated. Your emotions are really high, so I had really big feelings for this guy. One thing for her to be like, oh, I like him too, I was like, okay. But then for her to go behind my back and have sex with him and then not ever tell me and make sure that the other friend didn't tell me and kept it a secret, that just goes to show how bad you knew it was. Because, I mean, like, if she didn't think it was that bad, she'd tell me the next day, like, listen, like, I'm so sorry this happened. In my head, it was like, oh, you know, none of us had a chance with him, it just happened. I would have gotten mad, absolutely, but I would have gotten over it. This, I don't think I ever got over. I was, like, over it to the point where I forgave her and I, like, trusted her to after a certain amount of time, but I was never, ever fully over it. Like, if I ever thought about it, I would still think, like, man, how does your best friend do that to you? But I was, like, okay with it. I was, like, I forgave her. So I'll tell you how that went down. Okay, so basically, back to me and Marissa sitting down in the summertime talking about it. She tells me the story, how it went down, and she's like, yeah, no, she never wanted to tell you. Like, this was something we're supposed to keep to the grave. I'm only telling you because it slipped out, and I didn't even think that it was something she would have kept from me for this long. I thought that she was just saying that, but I didn't realize she'd actually, like, take it to the grave. And she, like, apologized, and I was like, it's fine. I just, like, can I tell her that I know? Because I don't think I can be friends with her and hold it. And she's like, yeah, go ahead and tell her. She's like, it's not my fault, it's hers, so go ahead and tell her. So a couple days later, I was at my friend's house and Samantha calls me. She doesn't know that I know at this point, okay? Samantha calls me and I'm being very short with her because I'm at my friend's house and her daughter's there and her mom was there. So I was just, my friend had a baby really young, if you're wondering. So I was just, like, answering the phone and I was just like, hi. And she's like, hey, like, what are you doing today? I was like, I'm just at my friend's house, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I was being very short with her and she's like, is everything okay? And I was like, nope. And she's like, oh, okay, what's wrong? I'm like, I can't talk about it right now. She's like, why? I'm like, because I'm at Val's house. And she's just like, okay, but, like, does it have to do with me? I'm like, yeah, it does. And I'm the kind of person that when I'm mad, I stay very calm. I either stay very calm or I laugh like a fucking maniac, but I don't get mad. Like, I just stay calm. So I'm like, yeah, it has to do with you. And she's like, oh, did I do something? What did I do? I'm like, I can't talk about it right now. And she's like, okay, well, can you, like, send me a message or something and, like, just let me know just so I have an idea? I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I gotta go, bye, and then I hung up. And so then I get on Facebook because, like I said, she didn't have a phone, and I think I'm gonna pull up the message. Oh my god. Oh my god, she was like, I don't know if she's gonna see that I posted this. If she sees the title, she'll know right away it's her. Because, oh no, 2 Scorpio girls have kind of, you know, done something like this to me. But she'll know right away that it's her, and I don't know how she's gonna feel about this video, to be honest. If you're watching this video, Samantha, and you feel a way about it, feel free to message me. No hard feelings, obviously, this was in the past, but I'm just telling the story, man, you know, gotta understand. It's all in the past, like, yeah. Okay, so let's get these inboxes going. I got my laptop right here and I'm just going through it. So that took me forever to find, but I did find it. I forgot to mention that when I was on the phone with her, I said I'm not mad yet because I can't know if I'm mad until I know what happened. So I remember saying that now because I'm such a logical person. I just realized that, like, I feel like I was actually kind of mature for my age when it came to like situations like that. Like I'd always like be very fair and like logical. So I remember saying to her, she's like, are you mad at me? And I said, like, I can't be mad until I know what happened, but I'm not very happy with you right now. Okay, so right here I have the message and I'm about to read it straight from Facebook. This is from June 28th, 2013. Oh my god. Okay, if you want to skip over this, go ahead. It's basically just me telling her that I found out that she did it. And yeah, so I'm just gonna read it. Oh my god, I haven't read this in years. I haven't read it in years. Okay. Hey, like I said on the phone, this is gonna be long, just warning you. Hey, like I said on the phone, I don't know if this happened or not. You're my best friend, so I didn't want to automatically assume anything. I wanted to hear what you have to say before getting mad. I just remembered this the day of grad and haven't properly talked to you. Anyways, the day of after prom, pause. Okay, so basically, I know what happened now. Marissa didn't want me to tell her. Marissa said, like, she didn't feel bad for telling me because it wasn't her fault. It was, you know, Samantha's fault. But Marissa said, if you can tell her without telling her that I told you, please do. So then I came up with saying that on after prom we were drunk and some random person told me that it happened and I didn't want to talk about it until after grad or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure out something else during the middle of this paragraph. But yeah, so eventually I did tell her that Marissa told me because Marissa was like, yeah, fuck it, you can tell her if you want. Initially I didn't, so here I made up some bullshit ass lie about who told me, but it's not true. Okay, let's continue. I'm gonna pick up on the last sentence, okay? Anyways, the day of after prom, this guy basically told me that you fucked Doug. I don't know if it happened. He kept saying that it did. I don't even know his name. He's Asian, but that's irrelevant. Why? I think I said that because, like, she doesn't know any Asians at my school, so I just said, like, whatever. I'm like, I don't know his name. He's Asian, but that's irrelevant. If it didn't happen, I'm sorry I even asked, but if it did, then wow, that's actually really fucked up, Samantha. It really is. At the end of the day, you and I both know that I'm over him and have been. I don't know the full story. Maybe if it happened, it was recently, but also, Samantha, you knew how much I liked him, and I knew how much you liked him, and to prevent us from fighting, we agreed we wouldn't act on it and wouldn't do anything about it, ... As much as we didn't want to, we promised each other, and I remember that, so if it did, it's not even about that. Yeah, if you told me, I would have been mad, jealous, and hurt, but you and I both know that there was no chance we would have ever gotten together, so eventually I would have gotten over it. But the thing is that if it happened, you obviously knew what you did wrong. I know that because you never told me, and you never told me for specific reasons because you knew how it would make me feel. And if you knew how it would make me feel but still went ahead and did it, then I honestly have no words for you. I honestly trust you so much, and I hope this isn't true, and I hope that you never did it, but at this point, I obviously don't know. And one thing I do know is that I would never do something like that to you. If it is true, I'm sorry. I felt like I needed to ask, that's it. If it is, just call me in a week to talk. Okay, looking back, I was very dramatic. I don't know, was I? I don't know. Guys, tell me if I'm being dramatic in the comments, especially if you're in high school and you're watching me. You know how serious this shit is in high school. Tell me how you would feel, and tell me if I'm being dramatic down below, because I'm actually so curious. Reading it, I seem very intense, but then I'm also like, I'm handling it pretty well, considering I know for sure she did it, but I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt to tell me. Yeah, so I'll just read her reply. She said, I don't know the timeline of when you did or didn't like him, but at the end of September or beginning of October, I don't know if we both liked him at the time, but okay, I'll call you in a week. You probably don't think I care because you always do, but I do care and I'm sorry. Bye. And I mean, I read that and right away I just knew it was bullshit because I had liked him like way before then, and I liked him for months before her, and she knew about it, and it didn't, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, just be fucking honest, you know? Like, just be honest. Yeah. So, I didn't answer that message. She called me, I think, 2 weeks later. You guys are not gonna believe what happened. Oh my god, you guys are not gonna fucking believe it. She called me 2 weeks later, and at this time, she was going through a lot, and she was on a lot of drugs, and she was hanging out with this bitch that I hated, and who hated me, and she basically replaced me with that bitch that I hated. And I hated that girl. I hated her friend. So what happened was, her friend, who I always told her was a bad friend, they were both like kind of on drugs, and kicked out of their houses. And basically my friend Samantha got kicked out of her house because the other girl didn't have a place to stay, and her mom didn't want her at her house because everyone hated that fucking girl. So she's like, you know what, if you're on the streets, I'm on the streets too. So they were both on the streets, staying at random people's houses. So eventually the friend that I hated found a person's house that she could stay at, which was her boyfriend, and the boyfriend said that Samantha couldn't stay with her. So she's like, sorry Samantha, you're on your own. At this point Samantha can't go home because she left the house to be with this friend. So Samantha's on the streets, and it's pouring rain that night, and her best friend kicked her out the house that her boyfriend had her at and said, you gotta go. So Samantha calls me from the bitch I hate's phone, and I pick up and I'm like, hello? Because I think it's the bitch that I hate. Oh, it was. And she's like, hi, Ashley. Right now I'm with Samantha, and she doesn't have anywhere to stay because blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why can't she stay with you? And she's just like, oh, because I'm at my boyfriend's house and he can't have her here. I'm like, okay, so was that not the same situation that she was in a week ago with her being home and not having you, and she, you know, found a way with you? And she's like, yeah, but like I really just like I have to stay in with him tonight and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's why I don't like you. This is exactly why I don't like you, because you are her friend when it's convenient for you, and now all of a sudden you're gonna be a little bitch and kick her out. I'm like, that's funny. I'm like, I started laughing because that's what I do. I started laughing, like, that's actually funny. I'm like, it's funny that you call yourself a friend. Like, you're actually kicking her out right now. And I'm like, have you seen outside? I'm like, have you seen the weather? It's pouring rain. Pouring rain. So she's like, yeah, here, talk to her. So she hands the phone over to her. So Samantha's like, hi. And I'm just like, hi. And she's just like, is it okay if I come over and stay with you? And I just started laughing. I'm like, and I'm like, you want to know what's funny? It's funny that I said call me in a week. It's been over 2 weeks now, and you decide to call me because you need something. If you had never needed anything, would you have even called me to say sorry or just talk about what happened or what? Like, I just was just like, that's just really funny to me. And she's just like, I just didn't know when the right time was. I was trying to give you space and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, sure. So is it okay? And I was like, you know what? I'm like, you know what? Because I'm actually a decent human being, I will let you stay at my house, but you're gonna be staying in the basement. You're not gonna be staying upstairs with me. I just cared about her so much that I just knew she'd literally be like on the streets if I didn't let her stay with me. But the basement was kind of a punishment because my basement's scary as fuck, and there's spiders, and there's like these hard futon things, and it's just scary in there. I don't even go down there by myself when I'm home alone. So that was like my punishment to her. Like, you can sleep with the spiders and the fucking darkness and the demons down there. Go ahead, I don't care. So yeah, I said to her, I'm like, yeah, you can sleep in the basement. She's like, okay, I don't have a way to get into your house. I'm like, quiet. I just said nothing. She's like, do you have the car? And I was like, yeah, I have the car. And she's just like, okay. I'm like, but I'm not gonna pick you up. You can find your way here. And she's just like, okay, okay, so I'll probably be there in about 2 hours because I'm gonna be walking. Because she was walking from somewhere far. Like, she was like a 20-minute drive, so it was like a 2-hour walk in the pouring fucking rain, okay? Pouring rain. So I'm just like, okay, all right, I'll see you in 2 hours then. So I tell my mom, and my mom's just like not a fan because she's just like, why do you always have friends getting kicked out and having to stay here, blah, 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 because I had some shitty friends in high school. So, yeah, so then 2 hours later, she gets to my house, she rings my doorbell because she doesn't have a phone, and I open up the door, and she's soaking wet, like drenched, like she jumped in a pool and came out. She has on like broken flip-flops, like shitty flip-flops. I don't know if they're broken, but they were like those cheap ones. I remember because I looked at her feet and I was like, oh my god, you just walked for 2 hours in the pouring rain with shitty flip-flops on. I just remember seeing that, and I literally just opened the door, and I had pajamas and a towel waiting for her with a robe at the door. Oh my god, I was so stupid. I was so stupid. And I had that sitting for her at the door. I was like, here you go. And I just pointed at it and then like locked the door, and then I walked away and I went to my room. And she had like a fucking fresh towel and warm fucking pajamas and a robe and all that shit. And she went to the basement, and I sat in my room and I just thought. And I remember just thinking, like, my logic at the time, I want to remind her of how much of a good friend that I am so she can really think about what she did. And looking back, I shouldn't have done that. Like, what the fuck? You're gonna do me wrong, and I'm gonna give you warm pajamas and a robe and fucking a warm house and a bed to sleep in and my love and all this shit. Like, I can't believe I did, to be honest. Like, now I'm very different. I'm very tough love. Like, no, I don't know what was wrong with me back then. So I go to my room for a little bit, and so I go downstairs to the basement just to like check if she needs anything, and then she's like, can we talk now? I was like, okay. So we sit down in the basement and we talk. And I told her how I felt about everything. And I told her, I'm like, listen, it's not about the boy, because the boy's nothing. I'm never gonna date him. I know he didn't want me. I'm like, it's about how you could do that to me and how I can't trust you and how you did me wrong. It was just like a very, very intense conversation. I remember explaining my points really well. Really, really well. I just remember being like, there's nothing you can fucking say to me because all my points are like perfect right now. And I remember being very calm, but very stern and like, listen, like, you did me wrong. I do not trust you. I will never trust you. And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, if I do trust you, I'll tell you. And it could be a year from now, it could be 3 years from now, it could be whenever. I'll tell you. But until then, just know that I don't trust you. You're gonna think that I trust you, but I'm not gonna trust you, but you're gonna think that I do. And she's just like, okay. And I don't think she understood what I meant. Because, like, I'm an Aquarius. Like, when I say something, I mean it. I do not trust you, and you're gonna think that I will. But I don't. And we had a discussion, and I forgave her. But I told her, like, listen, like, it's not gonna be the same now. It's not, and I'm probably never going to introduce you to any of my future boyfriends, because this is what you do to just a stupid guy. Like, who knows about someone you're spending more time with, you know what I mean? And I mean, what future boyfriends did I ever have when I was friends with her? But yeah, so that happened, and we were good, but things were kind of shaky for a while. They really were. She forgave that dumb bitch, and they were friends again after that, and we still hated each other. And, yeah, we stayed friends for a while. Maybe 2 years later, I told her, I think in 2015 or something, I was sitting with her one day, and I said, hey, I just want to tell you something. She's like, wow. I'm like, I trust you now. And, she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I trust you now. Like, remember how I told you that I wouldn't trust you for a long time? I'm like, I trust you now. And she was just in shock, because she's like, whoa, I actually didn't even think that. And she's like, I thought you trusted me this whole time. And I'm like, nope, I didn't trust you. I'm like, I think I just realized today that I trust you now. And it was like a nice conversation, because at that point I had trusted her, because 2 years, nothing had gone wrong, we were good, and I trusted her. She was happy to hear it, and she was just like, wow. She's like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you, because I know that I told you I'd tell you when I did, and I do now. And that was in the summertime, and in February she did something else that really fucked with my trust, and that's what really messed with our friendship. That's another story time. That was my birthday. She did something else that really, really fucked with my trust, and things were never the same after that, and then we just kind of drifted, and now we're cool. I do have a lot of love for her in my heart. I saw her in December, and we're cool. Like, I hope she does well. I hope she's doing well. I don't talk to her, but I hope she's doing well. Like I said, I'll always have love for her, but we can never be like how we were, I don't think. Maybe years and years down the line, once we both like completely different people. But as of right now, it's just not possible, I don't think. And yeah, that's the story of the time my best friend slept with my man. I named it that because I'm like, he wasn't my boyfriend. He wasn't like someone I was dating. He was my man. Like, you know when you're in high school, it's like, that's my man. It was one of those. So my best friend slept with my man and lied about it for years, and it came out, and yeah. That's the story of the Scorpio that betrayed my trust. One of many Scorpios that have betrayed my trust. I've just had bad experiences with Scorpios. Another one tried to take my man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I hope it wasn't too serious or too long for you guys. I'm going to try and edit it down to be like 20 minutes or something like that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more story times. I got a lot of juicy ones coming at you. Got a lot of sad ones, a lot of weird ones. I just got a lot of story times. I'm trying to put them out slowly. I don't want to be like Tana Mojo, put them all out in like a month. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. And as always, stay cute. Bye, guys.